Most people think ancient civilizations were just surviving, figuring things out as they went. But what if I told you they were doing things we still can't fully explain today? I'm talking about massive stone structures placed with insane precision, calendars more accurate than ones used centuries later, and engineering techniques that don't leave behind the kind of trial and error you'd expect. And the strange part, these weren't isolated cases. The same patterns show up across civilizations that were never supposed to be connected. Now, before this starts sounding like fantasy, here's the thing. These aren't myths or legends. These are real sites, real measurements, and real discoveries that researchers still argue over today. You don't need to believe anything extreme to notice that something doesn't quite add up. Because once you start looking closely, history stops feeling like a straight line and starts feeling like pieces of a puzzle that never fully fit together. So in this video, we're digging into the secrets ancient civilizations left behind, how they built what they built, what knowledge may have been lost, and why the deeper you look, the harder it becomes to believe the past was as simple as we were taught. And trust me, once you see this, you'll never look at ancient history the same way again. When we imagine ancient civilizations, we usually picture people doing the best they could with what they had. Stone tools, basic shelters, trial and error, slow progress. But the more archaeologists dig, literally, the harder that picture is to defend. Take ancient Egypt. Everyone knows the pyramids, but most people don't realize just how precise they are. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to true north with an accuracy of less than a fraction of a degree. That's not symbolic. That's mathematical. Even more surprising, the pyramid's base is almost perfectly level across its entire footprint, something modern builders struggle to achieve without advanced surveying tools. And this raises an uncomfortable question. How did they do this? Without steel tools, without machines, without modern instruments. What makes it even stranger is that we don't find thousands of years' worth of failed pyramid attempts leading up to this. There aren't half-finished prototypes scattered across the desert. Instead, the earliest large pyramids already show an understanding of geometry, weight distribution, and structural stability that feels fully formed. Now let's shift continents, because this isn't just an Egyptian story. In South America, the Inca built massive stone walls using blocks so precisely cut that not even a sheet of paper can slide between them. No mortar, no cement, just stone shaped to stone. These walls have survived centuries of earthquakes that destroyed much newer buildings around them. Here's the part that doesn't make sense. The stones weren't just stacked. Each one is uniquely shaped, interlocking like a three-dimensional puzzle. That requires planning, measurement, and a deep understanding of stress and movement, especially in a seismic zone. And yet, the tools typically attributed to the Inca shouldn't have been capable of this level of precision. Then there's ancient astronomy. The Maya weren't just watching the sky, they were measuring it. Their calendar calculated the length of the solar year with astonishing accuracy, closer to modern values than calendars used in Europe over 1,000 years later. They tracked eclipses, planetary cycles, and long-term celestial patterns with no telescopes, no computers, and no written mathematical notation like we use today. This wasn't guesswork, it was observation refined over generations. What makes this truly fascinating is that similar astronomical alignments appear all over the world. Ancient structures in Egypt, Central America, and even parts of Europe are aligned with solstices, equinoxes, and specific star risings. Different cultures, different continents, same sky, same precision. So how did knowledge like this spread? if it spread at all. Some researchers suggest independent discovery, which is possible. Humans are intelligent, after all. But when you see the same patterns repeating across civilizations separated by oceans, it's hard not to wonder whether ancient humans were more connected than we assume, or whether certain knowledge was far more universal than history books let on. And that brings us to the biggest mystery of all, the missing knowledge. Civilizations don't vanish overnight, but knowledge can. Wars burn libraries, climate shifts force populations to migrate, writing systems disappear, teachers die without passing on what they knew. Over time, advanced understanding can collapse back into survival knowledge. And once it's gone, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. We see this happen even in modern times. Entire technologies have been lost and rediscovered. Ancient Roman concrete, for example, is still more durable than many modern mixes, and scientists only recently began to understand why. Certain ancient medical practices, once dismissed, are now being re-examined and validated through modern research. So maybe the biggest mistake we make is assuming that progress is always forward. What if history isn't a straight line, but a series of rises, collapses, and rediscoveries? The ancient world wasn't primitive, it was experimental, observational, and in many cases, shockingly precise. These civilizations weren't guessing their way through existence. They were studying it, measuring it, and building around it in ways we're only beginning to appreciate. And the deeper we look, the clearer it becomes that the real mystery isn't how little ancient people knew. It's how much they knew, and how easily that knowledge was lost